In today's clip, I'll just go over my fall and rise from grace and the Maslow hierarchy of needs during the past week or so, alright? During the worst weather disaster the great state of Texas has seen in my lifetime, really. So check it out. Hey, XenPuck here. So my quaint little video release schedule has been all mucked up this past week, and I'm here to tell you why. It's not meant to be educational, but a few of my friends were wondering how I was doing and dealing with the whole Storm Uri situation. So I figured I'd just recount it in a way that I find amusing. Whoever cares to know can just watch this, okay? It all started really on Sunday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Oh, what a lifetime ago that seems. Sunday. Valentine's Day. Now my biggest worry on this day was whether the wine and cheese combo that I ordered for my wifey would get here on time, okay? Spoiler alert, the wine got here, but the cheese board did not. This was my biggest worry and source of agitation. Instead of enjoying a lovely evening, I'm just writing and rewriting an angry customer service email to the vendor that I'd ordered the wine and cheese board from, right? Demanding a full refund. How dare they tell me that the late delivery was due to weather conditions? I mean, the order being complete by the Monday after Valentine's Day completely misses the point now, right? As if a little snow could slow anyone down. Actually, Sunday evening, my worries already started to shift, right? As the kitchen and one bathroom's faucet no longer worked. Yeah, I guess it is getting a little chilly for Texas, right? Hard to wash dishes this way. I mean, it's very annoying, but at least we still had two other bathroom faucets that did work. So we immediately started filling up some water bottles and started dripping the working faucets so those pipes wouldn't freeze as well. I go to sleep Sunday night thinking, well, I guess I should call plumber first thing Monday morning, as if our pipes froze, I assume plenty of other people's pipes are experiencing the same thing. Day 2, imagine my surprise that by Monday morning, we've lost all power. Oh boy, so no light, no internet, no more charging electronics, no heat, even though Monday's low was in the single digits on the Fahrenheit scale, okay? We could technically still cook on the stovetop if I light the gas stove with a match, and technically we have phones to connect to the rest of the world still, right? But as we found out how wide the outage was, I guess everyone else was also dependent on their phones, cellular coverage, because the cellular coverage for our phones became spotty at best, right? It barely worked, the internet barely worked, my wifey could barely make a phone call, right? We couldn't go outside in the fear of lowering what heat we had left inside the house. The only saving grace on Monday was between wifey and I, we actually had a handful of external phone batteries. So at least our phones could stay alive like during the day. So I would say by Monday my biggest worry has shifted to how not to freeze to death in the coldest winter in quite some time in this locality. Day 3, Tuesday. So what was supposed to be rolling outages in the city of Austin was not rolling anywhere. It's just a plain old outage, right? Once it passes a few hours. Now that we're in the multi-days territory, I was joking with wifey that we're turning into farmers because it's hard to do much of anything without the light of the sun, right? At this point, all of our external phone batteries are running low, and my biggest worry was being cut off from any and all updates, right? Inside the house, temperature was still dropping, and honestly, it's getting to be uncomfortable to do anything except huddle in bed, right? We've slept so much by this point, it's actually starting to hurt a bit just lying down all the time, right? Luckily, a little bit of a reprieve, right? We went to check on our car, and we found out we had a full tank, so we started using the vehicle to essentially be one giant charger of electronics, albeit very, very slowly. Right? Day 4, Wednesday. It actually snowed some more overnight. Fantastic. And yet another day of non-updates from Monster Energy that basically just repeated what they said on Monday and Tuesday, which was, hey, we have no idea when the power will be back on, could be another day, could be longer. Real helpful stuff, guys. Go kill yourself, please. Anyway, I was so tired from sleeping all the time, I decided to go and clean out the backyard of snow a bit. maybe thinking that that'll get me tired, I want to pass out again. Lo and behold, one of my lasting worries from Sunday came to fruition, which was the frozen pipe burst and was sprinkling, the backyard like a giant hose. I had to Google how to fix it, and then I had to call a plumber to walk me through how to shut off the main valve of water into the house. So I do that, the pipe leak sprinkle stops, which is great, but that also means no more running water to the house at all, which is not so great. So now we're freezing and I have no running water out of any faucet or in our toilets. My biggest worry now have descended to how to handle the pee-poo situation, okay? Wifey and I brainstorm, we jerry-rig one bathroom into a facsimile of a dry toilet and also stock up on snow to boil and melt for water to power our remaining toilets. It's a strange thing to say, but I prefer the prospect of freezing to having to potentially poo into a bag, okay? Silver lining so far. Wifey's taking all this in stride and we're dealing with all this stuff together. Okay. Day 5, Thursday. Early morning we hear the hum of power again, but we've been waiting for what seems like an eternity. I mean, it's been like 3 days, but it felt like an eternity. That we barely believe it. The power is back out. Ah, shucks. Alas, shortly after the power is back on again, and finally it stays on. By morning at least we have heat and can charge our electronics indoors and can start the oven and stove like normal people. Not that we're doing much cooking, since the sink is still full of dishes needing to be cleaned. Alas, still no internet, as our ISP is experiencing their own problems. Also, the weather is projecting to be nicer later, which means the snow in the yard is starting to melt, which means we'll soon run short even on the dirty snow toilet water. I've already called plumbers like everyone else in the state of Texas though, so the estimated wait is at least a week out. Okay, my biggest worry right now is how long we can keep up with the toilet situation. So we try to book hotels and Airbnbs. That turned out to be a moot point, as apparently even in places with running pipes, there's no running water in the city of Austin anyway. So we shelved that idea, as there's absolutely no point of leaving if we'd just be manually filling toilets with water somewhere else, okay? Honestly, I'm shocked that any place would even charge guests for accommodations that doesn't have a running toilet. I mean, is that really an amenity? Here I thought living in the greatest superpower in the world. I thought I lived in the greatest superpower in the world, and running water is not even a given. It's just mind-blowing. Okay. Day 6, Friday. Okay, the ISP that I use has recovered, so yes, home internet again. Okay, we're on the rebound. Okay, I recall a promise I made to myself on Monday especially, to really appreciate the heck out of all the crappy streaming shows that I couldn't watch. But didn't miss until I couldn't watch them anymore. We are also at least getting used to the snow water toilet / dry toilet situation. Okay, I even placed a poo bag only bin out in the yard. Unfortunately, it blew over, and my wifey made a joke that she hopes I tie those poo bags tightly. Luckily, I did. That's right, my biggest worry Friday was simply hoping my literal poo wasn't splattered all over my yard. Day 7, Saturday. Power issues more or less solved, but complete lack of running water issue continues through the 3rd day at this point, okay? We drove to wifey's employer, who was giving out emergency water and food. We also went to a Target to get even more buckets for a last-ditch effort of saving as much of the remaining unmelted snow water as possible. Water really is the essence of life now that, and while we have enough of a stash for drinking, now I'm really questioning whether or possibly we could perhaps supplement the dirty snow water with actual spring water just for pee-poo purposes, okay? Also on Saturday, we were researching all nearby restaurants to see if they're open, for food purposes, but really primarily to see whether they have a working toilet. Yes, really my mind, biggest worry is just preoccupied with poo. I think I even considered, I was like, we have cat litter. Maybe we could just, go like how cats go. Except, we're actually running out of the cat litter as well. Running short by Saturday. Day 8, Sunday. all the snow has almost completely gone. One would be hard pressed to see that there was even a terrible snowstorm just less than a handful of days ago. Okay, we got another case of drinking water, this time from the city. That's nice, but honestly, I never knew how much water was in every single flush of one's toilet until now. No amount of drinking water would really help with that. Okay. What if you actually try to order even more water via Amazon, like for drinking water, but the delivery date is a week out? So that's not really useful, okay? But guess what? On the upside, we did get the cheese delivery that was supposed to come a week ago. Surprisingly, though, I now can empathize with the poor delivery due to weather situation, okay? Honestly, we're just happy to have some new dryish food that we're pretty sure is still good and we can eat. Plumber also started contacting me on Sunday with slightly more hopeful dates to come fix the pipes, but none seems committed, right? Everyone is basically like, hey, we'll see how it goes. We will call you the day after or the day of. Just be home, right? So biggest worry is still the level of uncertainty as to when we would have a running toilet again, okay? I even started planning for possibly a short Airbnb stay very close to our house early next week, right? The overall water situation in Austin should have been fixed by then, right? So I'm thinking Airbnbs of houses that didn't have a burst pipe would have a working toilet by then, right? This way we could have a pee or a poo whenever we'd like, and still be able to check on our cat, right? And wifey would still be able to work. Okay. And then finally, day 9, Monday, February 22nd. Surprisingly, a plumber did come through and fix the pipe, so running water is back. Hallelujah. But alas, the bad news is that both of our water heaters broke, so hot water means, or rather no hot water means limited dishwashing, limited dishwasher, limited actual washing of clothes, and of course, no hot showers. But let's just be clear, I was so elated at having running toilets back. I told the plumber if I needed to learn how to take freezing cold shower, so be it. After all, the actual temperature on Monday was in the 70s. My God, who needs hot water when you've got nice weather again, right? Worst case scenario, I will boil water and mix it with the cold water that we can get from the faucet to make self-cleaning possible again. Yeah, that's pretty much the entire story so far, okay? To be honest, I've never really thought so hard about the basic necessities of life as I did this past, 8-9 day period. Electricity, internet, water. I felt bad. I never thought I'd be able to give my wife everything in life, but I certainly never thought I wouldn't be able to provide her with these aforementioned utilities. I'd say I'm so proud, of how we handle these trying times. And on the brighter side of things, I think officially we are now ready for van life, right? Let's get an RV or converted like Sprinter van or whatever. We've lived now without electricity during freezing weather and without running water. If we could live with dry toilets of our own making, we could get along anywhere. Always a silver lining. Anyway, I hope you guys had a better experience than us. I know we didn't have it the worst. Certainly not. We're still very, very lucky. For those of you guys who are still without power or water or all the basic necessities and luxuries of life, I hope you guys are handling it as well as you can, and just hang in there. This will all pass, right? I still love the state of Texas. We'll all be okay. Cheers.